Thank you, Chairman. General, I'd like to return to the disturbing topics of human trafficking and sex trafficking. You've answered a few questions here today. I'd like to look at the November 28th Miami Herald investigative series that I know that you followed into the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein, and I want to quote from that. Epstein, a wealthy hedge fund manager, quote, assembled a large cult-like network of underage girls with the help of young female recruiters to coerce into having sex acts behind the walls of his opulent waterfront mansion as often as 3 times a day, close quote. The report continues, he was also suspected of trafficking minor girls, often from overseas, for sex parties at his other homes in Manhattan, New Mexico, and the Caribbean. The Herald series continues, quote, in 2007, despite ample physical evidence and multiple witnesses corroborating the girls' stories, federal prosecutors and Epstein's lawyers quietly put together a remarkable deal for Epstein, then age 54. He agreed to plead guilty to 2 felony prostitution charges in state court, and in exchange, he and his accomplices received immunity from federal sex trafficking charges that could have sent him to prison for the rest of his life. He served 13 months in a private wing of the Palm Beach County Stockade. His alleged co-conspirators who helped schedule his sex sessions were never prosecuted, and the deal, called, again, this is the Miami Herald, a federal non-prosecution agreement, was sealed so that no one, not even his victims, could know the full scope of Epstein's crimes and who else was involved, close quote. The fact that federal prosecutors appear to have crafted this secret sweetheart deal for a child rapist obviously enrages moms and dads everywhere. On this particular case, will you commit to making sure that there's a full and thorough investigation into the way DOJ handled the Epstein case?
So, Senator, I have to recuse myself from Kirkland and Ellis matters, I am told, and I think Kirkland and Ellis was maybe involved in that case. So I need to sort out exactly what my role can be. But, I will say that if I'm confirmed, I'll make sure your questions are answered on this case.
Thank you. The Deputy Attorney General, obviously there have been media reports about the timing of his potential departure post your confirmation, and the DAG, as you well know from your prior history, has a key responsibility in deconflicting different parts of the department. Those of us who've been pressing on this matter have found in different parts of the department a lot of anxiety about the way this was handled, and yet kind of a hot potato of a bunch of people thinking they're not responsible. Right now, Rod Rosenstein has been helping, trying to deconflict some of that, but I'm worried if, with your potential recusal, if the DAG also departs, it's not clear who's going to actually deconflict this. So I'm grateful for your pledge that the department will be responsive, even if not you personally.
Yes, that's right.
More broadly than the miscarriage of justice in this particular Florida case, would you agree that justice has nothing to do with the size of your bank account or the number of attorneys you can hire?
Yes.
I agree, and I think that a whole bunch of Americans wonder about the Department of Justice and how we're trying to prioritize, or how we should be prioritizing our responsibility to the victims of sex trafficking who are left afraid and voiceless. In this particular case, many of the women who were clearly victims, trafficked, rape victims, had no awareness of the fact, and I think in violation of federal statutes of victim notification, that this non-prosecution agreement had been agreed to, and not just that Epstein and his co-conspirators were not indicted, but the rest of the investigatory matters of the department were also suspended. It seems truly bizarre. I think moms and dads watching this hearing would like to know that you will pledge broadly to attack sex trafficking as a scourge in our society on both the supply side and the demand side, as these dirtbags demand this, but on the supply side as organizations clearly perpetrate these crimes. Can you pledge to us that this will be one of your priorities at the department?
They can count on it.
Thank you, sir.
I want to associate myself with what Senator Sasse said about the Epstein case and the problem in general. And to the extent you can help us figure this out, please.
Yes.